You did. You crazy son of a bitch, you did.
Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Senior developer, co-founder of EHG Mike held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 166. I'm sorry this is a little delayed. I normally always drop this video Friday night or Saturday morning, but on Wednesday it was my 40th birthday. Yes, I hit the big 40. So me and a bunch of buddies spent the week in Las Vegas, had a blast. So anyways, I'm sorry this video is a couple of days delayed, but Mike gave us some juicy stuff for the highly anticipated season 2 coming April 17th. And we're going to jump right into this to a unplanned teaser that he leaked. Check this out.
That I'm very pleased about that wouldn't have been in otherwise. So you can thank the delay for this. This screen, this probably would have come in like a hotfix on like day 1 or 2 or something like that. So it's not really that big of a deal. But this screen, there's now a little label that shows up here that tells you your the timeline corruption. So all of them, all of the timelines have like a little like woo, like 4,000. That says the timeline corruption there, so you can track your timeline corruption from the screen and see it bigger.
The question was asked, hey, since it's 2 weeks delayed, is there anything else we're getting now? His answer, we now get a little corruption marker, which is actually a huge quality of life. When I'm testing a build and I don't want to play higher corruption, I have to like go to each little island and see where the corruption is at. Very nice quality of life. We are now moving on to teaser number 2. Mike was asked about the Forge Guard node, where you can hold a two-handed weapon and a shield in one hand, trying to figure out what is the negatives to that. And now we know.
Here you go. First unplanned impromptu spoiler. So it is less damage and less attack and cast speed. And haste grants added block chance.
Very, very different. Now, there's already people saying, why does EHG hate Sentinel? This is too many negatives. A two-handed weapon compared to a one-handed weapon is a massive increase, okay? Massive. So 20% less damage, 10% less attack speed comparing to a two-handed weapon to a one-handed weapon. It is still a huge advantage to use a two-handed weapon. Now, the haste is very interesting. Haste grants you block chance instead of movement speed, and EHG is very big into their theming. So would a character that's holding a shield and a two-handed weapon be super fast zoom zoom? No, they wouldn't be, but they would be extremely powerful. So that's kind of the idea behind this node, is that you're not going to be super fast. Moving on to teaser number 3, a little Void Knight teaser, and Mike's going to talk about bug fixing.
Well, here's a little Void Knight passive. Sure, that's the problem with that. How many bug fixes are coming to 1.2? Let's season 2. How many bug fixes are coming to season 2? There's some bugs that haven't been fixed since like 0.8, and I'm wondering what's the priority with old bugs. So the priority is basically just, it's the same as it's always been. It's how big of an impact does this have? How hard is it to fix? And it's all these things get worked in together to decide what the order of any individual bug is. There's tons of work that's been done on bug fixing all over the place, and we are doing more as well.
Where it is in the priority list. Now, this node is going to be like, everyone is going to take it, of course, for Void Knight, because normally you scale with vitality. So you could put 10 points into it, 10 to vitality, 20% increased health, and you now get base health per that vitality. So you got 100 vitality. This threshold node would give you 200 base health. It's now time for Mike to do a little drawing. I get asked all the time when I'm streaming about sets and how we're going to make them and how the shards work and all this different stuff. Mike breaks it down beautifully.
Itself. When you craft the set shards onto items, does it only carry over the set bonuses, or is it also the stats and conversions? For instance, meteor is lightning. So when you let's talk about this briefly for a second, just to get the details out of the way. So let's say the Last Bear's Fury is the set we are shattering. We shatter this and we get the Last Bear's Fury set shard. Thank you, Sidney. Appreciate the sub. welcome. And so you got the Last Bear's Fury set shard. That one is going to have... Oh, it's not working. Really?
Give him a second.
Great. Cool. Managed to make it work. Okay, that one is going... So there's these 4 affixes here, and we have picked 2 of these 4 affixes to be the 2 affixes that the shard has. And then... And it's always... And we've picked 2 of these affixes... Thank you, Kane. Sorry. We've picked 2 of these affixes to be the... affixes that are the Last Bear's Fury set shard. So I'm not gonna tell you which 2 of these 4 we've picked, but we've picked 2 of them, and those are the 2 that shard gives. And that shard will always give those 2. And because it is something that has 7 tiers, it can go all the way, it can be exalted. You have to do that a little indirectly with some of the new crafting materials, but you can get exalted set affixes. We've often picked ones that are thematically strong, so things that really feel thematic to that weapon. So like, or that item that really brings forth the feeling of it, so that when you put it on an item, it still feels like the same item or a similar item usually. Things that are exciting, things that aren't normally found on that slot, stuff like that, and things that do scale nicely with 7 tiers of affixes. So something that's just like, it said like +1 strength. That's not on any of them, but it doesn't scale great because you can't have decimals of strength. That's a bad example because we can just put more on the affix shard, but I'm trying to go quick. And then if you have multiple items of the same set, whether that includes the base set items, so I can have like the Last Bear's helmet and chest piece, and then a reforged Last Bear's gloves, and I would get the 3 set bonus because I would have 3 pieces of the set. When you put a shard from a set item onto an exalted item and make a reforged version of that set item, for all intents and purposes, that item is a set item in that set.
And it turns green. So you really know you did it right, because if you have a purple exalted item and you put I don't know which one it is, one of these on the glove, that purple item literally turns green, and it shows the set bonus at the bottom. So you'll know that you did it correctly. Now let's talk about my favorite, and when it's gonna get some love, Necromancer.
Will there be a revamp of the Necromancer mastery? Yes, not in season 2 though. We're gonna be focusing on some new stuff for like Lich, and some stuff for Necromancer. Like, so Acolyte will be a bigger focus in our next season after this one.
Wait for this.
There was at one point planned to be a new Lich skill coming for season 2, and that got shoved to the next season. And so I think we'll see like a bit of Necromancer stuff at the same time there. It feels right putting them together.
Now, this is my guess. I legitimately don't know because I knew I couldn't say, so I'm just guessing. Lich and Necromancer have some of the oldest passive trees there are. So I am guessing that obviously Warlock has a pretty unbelievable passive tree. So I'm guessing Necro and Lich will get their threshold nodes, blow up passive tree finally. Lich will be getting a new skill later on in this stream. Mike confirms it is a melee Lich skill. Moving on to teaser number 4, Divine Flare.
Here we go. There's something else.
Waves of Light, and you can put 4 points into this, making it 40%. Directly cast Divine Flares, which hit a rare enemy or boss, have a chance per symbol consumed to recast Divine Flare. And Carve talked about this with his stream with Gazzy, that maybe Divine Flare could actually be its own build. A lot of people probably don't even know this node exists. It is basically a sub-skill inside of Sigils of Hope, which is now Symbols of Hope. This is getting some love for season 2. And ultimately what Divine Flare is it's an area fire spell cast. I believe this is teaser number 5, and this is an awesome one.
An example of one of the styles of nodes that can appear in the Weaver tree. So just getting a little more info there. There's lots of nodes in there, and this is an example of one of those styles.
Prime Weaver, and you can put 3 points into this. Weaver's will value and unique items found in your echoes has a chance to be rolled twice and keep the higher value. Weaver's will lucky chance up to 30%. Now, you might be used to this with your blessings based upon the current factions in game. Your blessings can roll twice and you could keep the higher value. This is absolutely massive for unique items. I think a lot of people are going to take this node. Unequivocally, my favorite teaser for Dev Chat 166. They have confirmed and now put out into the world in printing.
Excited for.
I'm going to let Mike explain it so I don't break NDA some weird way. Give him a sec.
Nope. Come on, Mike. Figure. There we go. That's what I want to do. Okay, so these nodes that you in the trailer, you could see. Yeah, Kane sounds good. We're gonna stop taking questions in 7 minutes, or in 17 minutes. So at 20 minutes before the stream ends, in 17 minutes from now, we are going to stop taking new questions. So if you want to get a question in to be answered, because I have 7 pages of questions still to answer here, we're gonna stop taking new questions, and I'm gonna try and barrel through these as fast as possible. And I do apologize that I'm not gonna get through them all. I'll go a little overtime probably, but yeah.
Give him a
so
second.
This is a node in the Weaver's tree. That when you put a point in the node, so you put 1 point in this node right here, and this slot up here opens up, becomes unlocked. You can then place any weapon or jewelry, I think. Yep, that's the weapon or jewelry slot. You can place.
Did anybody catch what he just said? Yes, that's the weapon or jewelry slot, inferring to. Never mind.
Any weapon or jewelry in that slot. And whoa, heavy 10 gifted subs to the channel. Thank you very much. That's congrats to everyone who got one of those. That's great. Thank you. Yeah, this is sweet. This is really hyped. So it will then drop items that are similar to the item you imprint in the slot. So when I say you place the item in the slot, you put it in the slot, but it's not removed from your inventory. So you have to keep the item in your inventory, and it just takes a snapshot of what that item looks like at that time. So you can put the item, you can imprint the item into the tree. It takes a snapshot of the item. You can craft on it some more if you want. You can brick the item. You can forge it onto something. It doesn't matter. The imprint stays where it is, and then you get a chance to drop similar items to it, thus specializing the type of gear you're finding. So you can be like, I really want to find items like this item, basically. So what I was mentioning earlier about set items, if you put a reforged set item in this slot, it will most of the time it will treat it like as though that set affix just didn't exist, and it'll just chaos that set affix instead. But sometimes it'll also treat it as the set item, the base set item. So this doesn't let you duplicate reforged set items to get more set shards super quickly, but it does work with set shard items, reforged set items as well. Whoa.
New way of target farming. Moving on to teaser 7 and a hidden teaser 8, which I will show you. A lot of people are going to be very happy about this.
All right, check it out. Here's some gameplay. Playing the new Heartseeker build. He bit off a little bit too much that he can chew. Oh no, he's swarmed. He's going. Can he survive? He can pull it out. Oh, he died. Look at all that great gear on the ground. He lost it all. It's just gone. He died. Oh wait, never mind. It's fine. There it is. It's all good. Yay. So we're not completely fixing the problem yet, but we're putting a band-aid on it. This is actually pretty sweet. It works well. It handles most of the really pain point situations, but it is it's not. The question is specifically asking about prophecies and huge drops and all that sort of stuff. So it doesn't quite fix the problem because you kind of what you have to do is hide all the tags with the prophecies issue. So we are going to keep looking at that. It's still something we're keeping an eye on. But here, I'll see if I can restart it somehow. Can I do this if I show it again? There's also another leak in there too if you find it, but
Oh, I found it. So obviously if you die and there is loot basically right around you, that will teleport with you. But if you're like screens away, that is not coming. Now, the other leak that he is referring to that is in there as well. Let me see if I can get a good shot of it.
See if I can restart it somehow. Can I do this if I...
Here it is. Watch.
Sure.
Well, we have seen video for Heartseeker before, and guess what? That doesn't look like Heartseeker. This is a new skill MTX coming for the new skill Heartseeker. So if you want, this is going to be available to everybody. I got permission that I could share and say that this is a new skill MTX for the skill Heartseeker. You can see it like adds this chain to it and gives it a different visual.
Do it again.
See that? You can see the chains wrapping around. It's doing its twists and turns. It's kind of got this new front thing on it. It's pretty cool looking.
There's also another leak in there too if you find it, but would you guys ever...
Pretty cool. All right, everyone. Unfortunately, we have come to the final question for Dev Chat 166 around the difficulty on Uber Aberoth. Mike, as always, thank you for your Friday live streams. The community truly appreciates it. You really brought your A game this Friday with over 7 teasers for the highly anticipated season 2 of Last Epoch coming April 17th. Please like, share, and subscribe if you think I have earned it. Check out the Discord. We're over 4,600 members right now, and we have a community event coming up April 17th. It's going to be our 8th treasure hunt event. We do game giveaways, movie nights, game nights. It's an awesome place to hang out. Last but not least, make sure you check out actionrpg.com. My newly launched website has 37 different Last Epoch guides. It's got news, it's got tips and tricks, it's got an event calendar. Right now it's launched into its beta form, so it's just phase 1, totally unmonetized. We're just asking people to press buttons so we can get some data and fix a bunch of stuff with it. You can check out Action RPG on your mobile device or on your PC. All right, I'm done. Mike, take it away.
Difficult do you think the new Uber is compared to the hardest challenge currently in Last Epoch? This is a really tricky question to answer because technically the hardest challenge in Last Epoch is 1 Google corruption. Just 1 followed by 100 zeros, or whatever the highest number we can physically put in there based on the data type it is. It's probably an integer. And so it's probably less difficult than that, but of like compared to seriously completable things or fixed difficulty contents, it's significantly harder. All right, circle, but at the same time, we are like raising the floor on what characters will be. So like, I think more characters will have a shot at taking him down, but it will be extremely hard. Like unless you have current Aberoth like on farm, you're not gonna have a shot at beating Uber Aberoth, I think. Unless you're willing to buckle down.